Hey guys, I hope you are all well. Welcome to a special video where I am doing the Saturn, which is going into Pisces on, with my dates here. It's going to be dipping in and out, but yeah, Saturn's going into Pisces March the 7th, 2023. And then it enters Aries on May the 24th. 2025. Then it goes retrograde again on the 1st of September 2025 into Pisces, and it stays there until February the 13th, 2026. So it's 3.5 years. It's actually going to feel like a long transit. People that are born in 1993, 94, you're having your Saturn return. Okay, some of you are going to be like 27. Yeah, you're having your Saturn return. And also the 60s kids, so people that were born 1964 to 67, more or less the people that are in charge of the world at the moment. You're going through your Saturn return because you guys are in your late 50s. So it's going to be a big transition for you guys, in a sense of, you know, when the last time when Saturn was in Pisces, especially for the 60s kids, everything's going to be coming full circle. And also for you 90s kids, you know, there's things, obviously, when you were born then, a lot has happened between now and then. So it's going to be a big time for you guys, and you guys are also Pluto in Virgo and Pluto in Scorpio. So yeah, you guys are more or less running things at the moment. And let's not forget, when we have Pluto going into Aquarius, there's going to be all change, a lot of going within with you guys as well, but I'll be doing a full video on that. But I will say that I have done a full blast video on Saturn in Pisces, guys, on my podcast. The link is below. I've spoken about the past, what happened then, to do with popular culture, to do with, you know, general, the news. It's a long one, so you will probably need your nice slippers on, cup of tea, hot cocoa, biscuits, because it's a long one. I went in. I'm not going to talk about it here because I'm here to do the tarot for all of the signs. So this video may be long as well. So guys, are you ready for Saturn going to Pisces? I sure am. I feel that a lot of you will definitely, even myself, will be very surprised about what will go on during this transit, because it's going to be in the it's going to be like quarter of the decade, decade of 2020s. And you know, when it comes out, we're going to be like 4 years left of this decade. So there's, you know, we're more or less wrapping up a lot of things that happened in 93 and 94. And when, you know what I said, I think I said before, whenever Saturn goes into the last signs of especially Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces, these are the times we really and truly have to take notice of, because they are wrapping up so many things to do with our career, our social standing, our status, how we are seen to the world, our groups, relationships, our social standings, but organizations in terms of protest as well, humanitarianism, but also when we come to Pisces, about spirituality, to do with the church, creativity, you know, practices, things that are not seen. These three are very important. We definitely need to take notice when Saturn goes into these signs. And also when it goes, especially when it goes into Pisces, actually, and Aries too, when it goes from Pisces to Aries, it is like an ending is happening, but a new beginning is happening. And Pisces and Aries is a mixture of, especially Pisces, is like an ending of an ending, but also we are beginning. And then it transitions to Aries, which Aries puts it out on the stage. So it's going to be a very powerful time when Saturn goes to Pisces, because we are even personal, general, these things that started 30 years ago that are now going to be dissolved. And a lot of us will not be happy about it. A lot of us will be relieved. A lot of us may be feeling uncertain, unsure. And a lot of us will just not be happy. And also because we are heading, and also during this time when Pisces is in, Saturn is in Pisces, we have, you know, Neptune there. And this will like meet up together during like when it's entering out. We also have the north, when it comes in, we have the north node in the nodes in Taurus and Scorpio. We also have Uranus in Taurus. We also have, there's a lot of like supporting actions with the planet conversations, but it is still a powerful end that we're all going to be feeling. So I've spoken more on my podcast about this, and the card we're obviously working with Saturn going into Pisces is the Eight of Cups. And the realization of this card, and also like some of the meanings, is that, you know, you're leaving something behind, and also you're abandoning your wishes, because the 8 is of, you know, hard work. It's a Saturn number, and whenever we see the 8, it can make us remember that we still need to put a lot of work in, but also it can also make us feel that, you know, you've put the work in, but then we have to go to another realm, which can take some of us a long time. But once we do decide, we have to go there, whether it's through free will or gritted teeth. So that's the card. That is the Saturn in Pisces card. And I feel that a lot of us, or some of us, actually, I feel like in general, that will be one of the themes. You know, we are wrapping up a 30-year cycle. And when it goes into Aries, we're beginning a brand new 30-year cycle. And again, it's not going to be very easy, but it's doable if we see the light. If we go to like the downstream of Pisces, that's when it becomes hard. When we swim upstream, that's when things just become a bit easier. So that's, you know, the Eight of Cups card is, you know, we're going to be finding ourselves, starting fresh, starting new, but also be willing and honest to leave something that, again, no longer serves us. But also, we've completed a project, we've completed our goals and our dreams, and now it's time to really move on and find a true part of ourselves. And yes, that's what I was. And also because it's on the 7th, which is in the tarot, is the Chariot card. And the Chariot card, I've said this before, and I'll probably constantly say it, guys. The Chariot card is a higher octave of Cancer. And this card is about, you know, determination. It is about not trying to control. And because it lands on the 7th of March, even though it zigzags, it lands on the 7th of March. I feel some of us who have gone through it very hard during the past 30 years, we are going to be, you know, be very determined to start fresh, be very determined to start something new. I feel some of us will be very action orientated. You know, we're going to have to really dig deep to have like the willpower, but also having that Saturnian level of control, knowing how far we can go, but knowing when to like draw back. So we're going to be finding that balance, because Pisces is a sign that has no balance. It has no like control of what, remember, it's mutable water. and it's ruled by Neptune, traditionally ruled by Jupiter. So it's like two planets. So it can just go too optimistic, and after then gets too dreamy, after it just gets very lost. And with the Chariot card for this is, you know, if you are really willing and determined to start something, it's showing that, not like saying on the 7th, that's when you have to start, because remember, this is nearly 3.5 year cycle. But it's showing that, you know, gradually, with all that strength, a lot of us are going to be needing a lot of strength, because there's things that are going to be crawling out of the woodwork. There's things that are going to be coming out for a lot of us, like sort of like dark shadows, but also things within ourselves, the things that we try to hide. It will come out, and it could be a strength, and it can also be a weakness. So you have to be very willing to, you know, be courageous, be bold, expressing ourselves, expressing some type of like desires. And, you know, because this is a Cancer high octave card as well. It's, you know, there's a strength. There's gonna be a lot of strength to a lot of us. And, you know, it might be the water signs are definitely going to benefit, and the earth signs, you know, but I am more or less feeling and picking up that it's more that, you know, some of you may be thinking I've wasted a lot of time, and now I'm gonna, that my next 30-year cycle, you know, ended. I've wasted 30 years, and now I want to start something, and now is more or less like the right time. And so it should be, you know, and even if people try to dissuade you in any way, because we can get very influenced under this transit, guys. Even though Saturn is about restrictions, we can still go the other way of being distracted, going like to the shadow side of addictions, because things are not working out. We have to keep going. You know, yes, we may be, you know, some of us may be, you know, the things that we want now, we might not get. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to just go in the corner and sulk, or are you just going to carry on? You know, if you want to be an artist, now is like the perfect time to be an artist. So this card is a brilliant card for us to have, to show strength and determination, and know that, you know, we can be sabotaged in some way, but we just have to just go on that right path. And even when I look at the other times when Saturn goes into Pisces, yeah, so, and I might do another video as well, guys, you know, like a bit of refresher, especially when Saturn goes into Aries. I might do a bit of a refresher, but that's going to be for the future, guys. So, yeah, so we're going to be, you know, quietly working hard, you know, and like I said, this card is actually really lovely for like the beginning of Saturn in Pisces, and also even with the 8 of Cups as well. So the other 3 cards that I have, this is a general. This is a brilliant general card that I have for this transit. And the first card that I have is the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups, when I saw this card, guys, you know, I was so elated. I was so happy. I was so, oh my God, this is amazing. Because it is, you know, and we, you know, there's nothing wrong with feeling greatly optimistic. And there's nothing, yeah, there's nothing really wrong with feeling optimistic about, of life. You know, even though you know, being too over optimistic, it can cause a bit of trouble. But this card, this first card for all of us, for the general, when Saturn enters Pisces, is of new beginnings. So we are starting, even though we're ending a cycle, we're also going to be, this card is showing that there's going to be new beginnings happening, new relationships. This card is it's very like a romantic card, very romantic messages I'm picking up. But it's cups, which is water. It's emotional, it's empathetic, it's about compassion. So there's going to be a new beginning of that. I feel that people are going to be more receptive to how we are all feeling now. And we have to remember, Next year is going to be this huge change in how the world is going to be. Even if we, and maybe it's because Saturn's going to Pisces, but also when Pluto goes into Aquarius, we're going to see like a little snippet of how the world is going to be for us. And these two signs are going to be changing it. And it may not feel very huge, big, humongous, but it really is. So you have to be very mindful of that too. So yes, so the first card is saying this is a new beginnings for like friendships. Although there can be restrictions on it, still, if we, raise our vibrations, because this Saturn in Pisces is about us raising our vibrations, regardless of the hurdles that we're going to be having. So once we do that, it's great to be, celebrating. If you've got a book coming out, writing, if you've got like a new creative project, if you're going to be working in the spiritual field, hospitals, shrines, all of those, this is a brand new beginning that's going to be happening. I feel that this card is saying that there's going to be more emotions coming out. I remember, Saturn is, some people say it doesn't really do well, but I feel that Saturn is quite good in Pisces, because it can restrict us emotionally, but it can also make us not go too far. Like, if you're going to be expressing your love to someone, it's like before you express your love, you just think about what you're going to be saying before you just express. That's how I see Saturn being in Pisces, especially when it comes to relationship. Like, you're seeing the actual person instead of being this, oh, lovey-dovey, this person's amazing. It's like, yeah, you're amazing, but I need to see the real you. And even if you're going to be going into anything, it's like, I need to see what's going on first before I jump in. So I feel it is actually good being in Pisces, although some people may differ. So yes, a new beginning for this as well. That, I feel that people are going to be opening up more. It may be cautiously, but it's going to be more opening up, more opportunities in a relationship. If you are in an existing one, it could be a new beginning, that you or your partner may be a bit more loving, more caring, and forgiveness. I feel there's going to be a lot more forgiveness as well. Even when it comes to like money, opportunities could come, especially if you're very creative, if you are a person that does, astrology or tarot, if you are overcoming any type of addictions. I feel that it can definitely be a brand new beginning for it as well. Yes, there could be like promotions that can come, but it's like I have permission now to be creative. I've said before, guys, creativity is really going to be saving us. Okay, it really is going to be saving us for the future. If you are a very creative person, or if you're thinking of being creative, now will be the time to actually put it out there. Pisces rules the creative masses, so there's no time like the present. Okay, and it can obviously bring in more money. It can bring in a brand new income, but you have to be passionate about it. Even in terms of like health as well, this card is great. It's saying that it's going to be an improvement of health, of wellness. This card is also about fertility. So there could be births of new babies and a brand new Saturn in Pisces generation. But it also could be a climate you want to conceive or starting a new project. Okay, the same goes with spirituality. So that's the first card. Beautiful card we have, guys. We have lovely cards for this. And then we have a card which can seem will make us feel down during this time, during this 3-year transit, 3.5-year transit. You can see it as a positive or a negative, because it is the Four of Cups. It is a Cancer card, another Cancer card. And I'm feeling like one of the major things is that a lot of us may want to be alone. May want to be alone to gather, retreat, not be around too much people, because remember, we're gonna have some restrictions going on. But other things is that there can be us thinking about the past, thinking about regrets, thinking about things that we should have done. This card is you know, let's be honest, is to do with nostalgic. It can be, so some of us may feel quite depressed. Maybe we just want to really daydream as well. So, you know, the other shadow side to Pisces is that, you know, if there's no goal in life, we can just go along with the flow and not have any aims or any ambitions. So this card can actually make us feel that inner side to us. And there's nothing wrong with daydreaming or even fantasizing. It actually could be a good thing. It actually can make us envision like something brand new for the world or even ourselves. But we just have to put pen to paper. And this card is showing that it can be quite hard for a lot of us to just get up and go each and every day. But when this does happen with the Four of Cups, because it can happen on a Monday, it can happen anytime. When it does happen, it's just really feel it, not dismiss it, not dismiss anything. If we feel that anything can bring us down, it's you know, this card is saying that we have to obviously feel it, but understand it instead of pushing it away. And again, coming back to the Eight of Cups, we're going to be letting go. So we can be very dissatisfied as well. But when we feel dissatisfied, we may not understand why we feel dissatisfied. So this is great to be talking to people. Because there's nothing wrong in being by ourselves. I actually like my own company because we came into this world alone anyway. Yes, we came from someone, but we still came alone. And I feel that having that understanding of it, especially the Four of Cups, is going to be more of a great comfort. But when we are hiding ourselves away from responsibilities, that can become a problem. And I feel that this card is going to be showing us there is going to be a level of that. There's going to be a level of us not wanting to work, not wanting to be creative, not wanting to do our daily like habits and daily chores. And because with Saturn in Pisces, we can't forget Virgo. Okay, we cannot forget Virgo. And that's one thing I forgot to say. We can't forget Virgo, the shadow side to it. So Virgo will be cheering that side of us on, like, okay, you can do this, but let's get this done. Let's get that done. And it's not about doing it quickly. It's about, you know, taking each steps. So yes, there's a huge element of that coming from the Four of Cups, of us feeling bored and not satisfied as well. Us feeling quite moody or even down, you know, because also we have to be, let's be honest, mental health is going to play a big part in what's going on. You know, Pisces rules the feet. It's the lymphatic system. So we, you know, being healthy, being emotionally healthy is going to be really spoken about. Other than church, religion, the arts, delusion of the arts, dissolving of all of these things, we have to really pay attention to what we're putting into our body, how it's affecting us emotionally as well. And yes, so one of the major cards, the Four of Cups, and the last card we have for us on the general is the the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel that this card may actually, it's going to come in handy. They will all come in handy, guys. All these cards will come in handy. But the Seven of Pentacles is, in some ways, guys, it might be a bit of our lifesaver. It might, and you might be thinking, what do you mean? Because it's telling us that what we, you know, what we put in, we get out. You know, it's like things come when we put like the work in, but it's the love that we put in. And, you know, some of us are going to be working quite hard during this Saturn. It's like, we're going to make this work. We're going to, you know, I've waited 30 years for this. So I'm going to actually put the work in now. And this card is about us. This card is about things coming to fruition by persevering, by showing us that, you know, it's also showing about, you know, manifestation. So, and Pisces is a sign of, other than Scorpio, is about occult. So it's a great manifestation sign. So we could be just doing like the normal daily work, you know, just to pay the bills, but we're actually wishing on something else. So if you've got like a side hustle that you've been working on, even if you haven't been working on it hard, you've just been doing it little by little, you know, you're wishing that you really want to do it full time, it can happen. And, you know, but we have to remember Saturn's involved, so we have to plan properly. We have to plan when you know, you come back from work. Are you going to go straight to do it, or are you going to chill, then do it in the evening? I feel this card is it's showing us it's a very, it's going to be a time of being strategic in what we are going to be bringing to fruition. Okay, but it's actually a great card because it's you know, our goals and aims and ambitions. And I keep talking about creativity because I'm a very creative person. And, you know, Saturn's been transit in my 12th house for the past, from 2020. And there are things that I have done, but I haven't been as consistent. I've been doing it little by little, especially with the, you know, the tarot. And, you know, can you imagine what can happen when Saturn goes into, you know, the first house? What can happen, what you can cultivate. So, yeah, so it's just, you know, it's actually a great business card as well. Like, you know, you've been working hard towards a goal and a dream, or even setting up something, or even working on your relationship with yourself, and also with your partner, also with your friends, and you know, things just start to blossom. But that's only because you put the work in. And it's not saying you have to kill yourself to put the work in. It's just like little by little, like what I just said before, little by little. And it's really across the board as well. If you want to get fitter, you have to put the work in. If you want to get healthy, you've got to put the work in. If you want to be more spiritual, you have to meditate, or you have to do little things to help build your spirituality. So, yeah, some people say this card is also to do with, like, again, fertility and pregnancy, but that doesn't just mean babies. It can also mean bringing things from like the womb or your heart to the world as well. So yeah, but if you're wanting a family as well, it's about making that time for it, you know. So this is a great planning card for a lot of us. And yeah, great card actually. I was quite a bit like but you know, even looking at it and see what the messages that come out of it, it's actually really great. I think this is probably one that may give us that really strong reminder. When we come to the when it comes to like wellness during this transit, I would say, you know, Pisces rules defeat, like I said before. So things like, remember guys, this is a general, okay? This is a general. So before you even start anything, whether it's exercise or whether it's anything, like exercise, essential oils, starting something new basically, please check with your doctor or practitioner, you know, because I'm just giving you general energies and certain things that I personally I'm going to be taken up, or I have taken up already, okay? So when it comes to essential oils, we're going to the wellness bit now. Essential oils that you can use, which I've started to like sort of branch out of, but it really does depend. You can also search on this online, but again, check with your practitioner. So I've been using like black pepper because it's great for like focus. It's also great for mental clarity as well. Some of the oils I've picked out are very grounding oils, so black pepper is really good. It also, I've heard, or even I've, you know, sort of seen myself, that it's good for you, like any type of like addictions and that. It can actually help, but it does depend on the person. So if you like sniff it, it can actually help you not concentrate on the thing that you shouldn't be concentrating on. So it's very grounding oil as well, and it also helps boost your morale. It helps boost concentration. Every night I've been using sweet orange oil. So this is also great. It's very, it's great for having a good sleep as well. But for some people, it could be very uplifting. And, you know, if you're feeling like quite down, or even, you know, just feeling like really heavy energy, it can just help boost your, it can help you boost your morale, but also can help you boost your, and raise your vibrations. Cedarwood oil I use more or less every day, but it's great to be using it just time. It helps to ground you. It's really good for like meditations. It's also great for if you're a very creative person. It can help you concentrate as well. It's great for setting intentions. Sandalwood oil is really great. It's very great for artists, people who are creative or artists. And also with artists, we need great imagination. So sandalwood oil is good for this as well. It helps with like the creative juices really flowing. And you know, you can get some other oils that can help protect you, like cinnamon oil's really good, but also juniper berry. Another oil I'm thinking of, lemon is great as well. These are very purifying. It helps clear away like negative energy, because a lot of us can definitely feel very overwhelmed during Saturn going to Pisces. We can pick up so much energies, so it's great to have like Florida water and just put some essential oils in there, like lemon and cinnamon and bergamot, and just spray yourself, especially when you come home. I keep forgetting to do that sometimes, but I'm on it. But yeah, Florida water is really good to spray yourself down, so that you're not so your energy is cleared. Yeah, so you're clearing your energy, and you know, you need that uplift. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a very sensitive time. It's going to be a very sensitive time. And even when I spoke in my podcast, I actually felt the whole emotion coming up of what I feel that a lot of us are going to be feeling. I've also spoke about things from the past coming back from all 30 years ago. And, you know, people actually revealing their true emotions and true selves. So we're going to definitely need to protect ourselves from like energy vampires, good or bad. And when it comes to like exercise for Pisces rules, again, the feet. So that's like to do with like the lymphatic system. Things like dry brushing is good. I've actually started to do that myself. It's not a new thing. It's been around for centuries. Dry brushing is very, very good. You start, obviously, you know, you can look on the internet to see how you can do it, like on YouTube. You can see how to do it. It's very good, guys. You feel really cleansed after it. It helps move your whole lymphatic system. And yeah, so I do it like but yeah, I do it 2-3 times a week. So it depends on how you feel. You can do it before you go in the shower, before you go in the bath. So that's really good for your body because it will help. And you know, Pisces is a sign that holds water retention. So just be mindful of that. Dry brushing can help with that. But again, check with your doctor and practitioner. Again, use essential oils. When it comes to fitness, because Pisces is the feet, the dancing happy feet, getting like doing like Epsom salt baths, even for your feet, getting pedicures. You can get manicures as well, but getting, getting pedicures, you can do like a home pedicure as well. And dancing is great, you know, swimming. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people actually started taking up swimming more. Dancing, again, going for walks along the beach or even like the river. I feel that in terms of like fitness, people won't be, remember, we're coming out of a 30-year cycle. So what we were all, how can I put it, plugged into of what society said that we should be doing, it's no longer going to be viable, especially when Pluto goes into Aquarius. I feel that in terms of how we take care of our body, will be very much more sensitive. It's not going to be this go hard or go home. It's going to be more like, you know, stretching is the new strength. I know that sounds strange, but trust me, guys. So taking it easy, you know, work with your energy, work with how you feel. So even like eccentrics, doing things like eccentrics by Miranda Esmond White. She's on YouTube. She's also got a website. And yoga. I think even I've even feeling things to do with like yoga will change as well, because yoga's not for everybody. So things like stretching, dynamic stretching, yeah, you can do yoga as well if your body is used to it. But lots of walking. I feel that walking will be the new running, definitely. And Pisces is a sign that doesn't like to do things too harsh anyway. And drinking lots of water was really going to be helping us, guys. It's not easy though. It's not easy, but yeah, drinking lots and lots of water can really help. It can help flush out our system. It can give us a bit more energy that we're going to be needing, because some of us may feel actually tired as well, especially if you're a water sign, you know, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We might actually feel tired. It depends really. But yeah, drinking water, and you can even go to the Virgo side of eating little bits, not little bits, but you know, like eating small meals a day that can help satisfy you. Yeah, so there's a lot of that I feel will definitely happen, but these are some of my feelings. But also I feel that these are some of the things that you guys may implement as well, and it's all the general as well, so you can take what I say or take it with a grain of salt. It's entirely up to you. But I definitely do think in terms of how we're working out, how we're taking care of ourselves physically for our emotions is going to be changing, because things are just going to be slowing down a little bit now, but also things will change. Okay, so guys, that was the tarot and my wellness, and let's get to the signs. So let's start off with Aries. Okay, sometimes you save the best till last, Pisces. We're starting off with Aries, and Aries, this is in your 12th house. Now this is a house of endings, and you, alongside Pisces, are ending a cycle and starting a new beginning. So Aries, if we can go back, way back into time, especially with those of you who were in their teens or 20s, before Saturn went into your sign, there was a lot of things that you guys had to really cleanse and detox from your system, from your world in general. You just had to like really let go of certain things. I feel that there was also some things that you guys had to really work through in a really honest way, because you're an honest sign. So, and you know, it could have been really hard, really harsh. You may have discovered new stuff about yourself, people, and even like, especially when it comes to your social standing and also your career. There's a lot you had to leave and a lot you had to work through. And again, some of it may have been easy to release, or some of it may have taken a while. So, you know, even going back from the 90s, you know, even coming till now, it was a cycle, a 30-year cycle that was definitely life transforming. During this time, you know, Saturn being in your 12th, again, you're going to be doing that whole releasing. You're going to be going through the motions. And, you know, if you feel that you want to really move ahead very quickly, you know, go back, like I said, go with how you feel, go with how you feel, work with your energy, but know that things may take a while. There are going to be people and places and things that are going to be leaving you, and some of these things you may not have a lot of control over. You know, Saturn, it rules your 10th as well in Capricorn. And you know, when Saturn was in Aquarius in your 11th house, there was a lot of restrictions that were placed on you in terms of your career and in terms of your, you know, your groups and your friends as well. And you're going to be seeing this now. And I feel if you're honest, Aries, you know, what's going to be left or what's going to be gained, it will be so beneficial. I feel you're going to come to this whole enlightenment time of, why did it take so long? Why did I, you know, procrastinate? Why did I hold on? Is it because of ego, or was it because of embarrassment, or was it because of I felt? All of these questions are going to be coming up. I feel that your jobs definitely will change. Okay, a lot of your jobs will change. Some of you may go into the caring profession. Some of you may start up a business on, you know, underground business behind the scenes in doing something very caring. Or you could be working on a project. But this is going to be helping you with your career. You can have a different career now. You can actually see, because, you know, Jupiter's in your sign. So you can actually see where you really can go now. You know, all what happened 30 years ago till now is like, is really building up to this time. And you're going to be really seeing what should be and what not should be in your life. With this transit, Aries, some of you may really go within, and some of you may be very, very emotional, you know, and when it is coming to releasing or anything that's going to be released from your life or leaving your life, it's going to be emotional, especially if you've been working at a job for 30 years or you've been in a relationship for 30 years. Anything that you started, it's now like, you know, either start something fresh, or it's going to be gradually leaving your life. And there's nothing wrong with tears. There's nothing wrong with, you know, crying, or nothing wrong with getting highly emotional. Because when we're starting something new, it's going to be, it's not easy. And it is definitely may not be easy for a lot of you. But what really helps you, Aries, is if you are really tuned in and plugged in to that inner being, because the 12th house is spirituality. And some of you may be guided to do something spiritual, like a spiritual practice. Maybe guided to, you know, relax and rest more. And once you do that, Aries, things are going to really come into place. Okay. And the 12th house is about releasing any type of addictions, the undoing. It can be hidden enemies, and a hidden enemy could be yourself, or it could be people that really come out in the woodwork that could be sabotaging you. If you're creating anything now, Aries, don't be afraid not to tell anyone. You don't have to shout from the rooftops. When Saturn goes into your first, you know, that's when you can bring it out. So tap into what you really want to do. Tap into that entrepreneurial spirit, and know that the entrepreneurial spirit that you have is going to be for the better good. Okay, because you may find during this time that you have very little, but you have gained also a lot. And I forgot to say, the oracle cards we have is witch oracle cards. And I've read this actually for Scorpio season, but I thought because these are very spiritual cards, it's really fitting for this Saturn in Pisces transit. So you've got prosperity. And you're going to be feeling very prosperous during this Saturn transit in your 12th. You may not feel it, but it will come. And Aries, I'm telling you, you know, feel anyone that's Sun, Moon, or Aries rising, you know, feel free to let me know how it has gone for you. But I do feel you're going to be very prosperous. I feel a lot of you are going to be gaining a lot more clarity in, you know, this card is also about wishes coming true as well. And you also, because it's the 12th house, these are about wishes coming true. So this is a time of like working hard, but working with your energy. And because some of you may actually, a lot of you actually will feel tired and want to be resting, you'll find you'll dream up more, you know. So don't give up. If it's something you need to like let go of when it comes to any type of addictions, even like to do with like your work, because you're going to be seeing your work very differently now, especially if you're a CEO or a boss. You're going to be seeing it differently. You may just want to retire early and just work for yourself. So anything you're going to be working on, or anything you're going to be starting, releasing, leaving, don't give up as well, because this card is about success coming to the corner, but you have to try and keep a positive attitude as well. So that's when it comes into writing gratitude, writing a journal, even journaling your thoughts, because you're ending a 30-year cycle and you're starting a brand new one. Because when I looked at this Pisces transit Saturn, it's actually very new beginning. It is endings, but there's also a lot of beginnings that are going to be happening. So keeping positive, journaling your thoughts. You never know, it can turn into a new career as well. You'll find that there's going to be some people in your life, and it may be very little, but they'll be very positive. And these are the people that you'll be needing in your life, Aries. So rest as much as you can, but also work with your energy and slow by slow before Saturn goes into your first. Hello, Taurus. I have a feeling that you're going to be enjoying this Saturn in Pisces transit. Let's look back 30. I'm going to say it to all the signs. If you look back, 30 years ago, what happened when Saturn was in your sign? How was your friends? How was your group? How was your organizations? How was your goals? Because you're a sign that really is about working towards goals in a slow way. You may have found that, there were friends that left your life. There may have been restrictions put on that. But then you came out with certain people that were sort of like your tribe. And it could have been one person. It could have been like one or two. You're counting them on your, on one hand. And now we've come back to this transit again 30 years later. And, when Saturn goes around that circle from your ninth, from all the way from Aries, from 96 till now, you've been through a lot. You've got Uranus in Taurus in your first house. You've got the North Node in your first house. So you are coming into your own. The last time Saturn was in Pisces, Uranus was in Capricorn, which was in your... Yes, Uranus in Capricorn, which was in your ninth house. So you learned a lot. Some of your learning could have been a bit, on one hand, very stable. But on the other hand, it could have been things changed. And now Uranus is in your sign. The realization is going to be real. And there's no time like the present. One of my other favorite words. So, yes, Taurus, huge realizations, because you've got planets in your first, you're going to really come into your own. Some of you may be standing up more to friends, standing up more into organizations and groups, really leading that charge. And if there's people in your life, there's going to be people that's going to be glided out of your life now, because you may find they may have been using you, or, they have taken the piss. Even when it comes to you, who you associate with, acquaintances as well. I feel that a lot of you are going to be leaving that. It could be to do with your job as well. But the main thing is you're going to be learning. And then Saturn rules your ninth, which is about higher learning. So if you are looking to study, or if you are looking to do something brand new, this is a great time to be doing it, especially before Saturn goes into your 12th. It actually can feel like a fun time, because you and the other earth signs are going to be really enjoying this. You, Cancer and Capricorn, it's going to be a really enjoyable time. But, your goals and dreams, you can really put into fruition now. If you didn't do it 30 years ago, if you were very much concentrating on like earning money, and because, during when Saturn went into Aries in 96 to 98, before it went into your sign, the planets were very, they were quite up and down. Let's just be honest. And, a lot of action that was hidden. And I felt that some of you may have felt really sabotaged in some way. But now it's like you're coming into your own. Like, who needs to be in your life. That what not to be in your life. And I feel that a lot of you are really sure of your goals and dreams. You may have many goals and dreams now. Many goals and dreams, but there's some that need to be gone. So don't be afraid to let that go, because Saturn in Pisces will let you know, Taurus, and you may not be happy about it, but it's about being honest in what needs to stay and what needs to go. But you're going to be learning. I feel I can see some of you Tauruses being like professors, doing something to do with like the law. something to do with publishing as well. If you guys are creative writers, because you got Uranus there, you got the North Node there, you also got yeah, you got these two planets, you know, your sign, and this is it's making you more creative, a bit more. Some of you may be a bit more outspoken. There's a change within you, so don't be afraid to do it. You know, but of course you may have to be diligent, you may have to plan, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to like step outside your comfort zone, because I am seeing that there's with Taurus is 1 foot is back and 1 foot is going forward, and you may be guided to be going for that. The foot is actually going forward during this next year, the 30-year transit, because you know you've ended one, you're beginning like more or less like a new one. There's going to be friends in your life that will really help you, but it might not be a lot. Remember, this is about restrictions. There are lots of goals and dreams that you're probably working on, but then you're going to have to narrow it down. And again, it can be very emotional because you may have been working on some things for a very long time, but the things that stay, it was the things that you were supposed to move towards. Some of you may also be very, get a bit more spiritual. You maybe want to align yourself with a creative group, or a spiritual group, or a group that does, what can I say? Yes, a group that actually does things that are very future forward thinking, like to do with like the internet, or something to do with like social, the law, any of these types of projects. But I am picking up more, you know, very creative. So this is great to be getting your work published now. But also, and you'll also pick out people that can actually help with your work. This is a house also of, what's the word? This is because Uranus is there. This is a time that a lot of you will be seeking to be independent, to do independent publishing, working for yourself. This is a great time to be doing it. Okay, but know that a lot of things that come, there's going to have to be a dissolvement of some too. So the card that you have, Taurus, is Hearth Homecoming. So this card is about prioritizing the right thing. And for the next 30 years, you're going to be prioritizing. And it could be to do with prioritizing friends, prioritizing your actual goals, prioritizing, you know, things that are very important in your life. This card is about re-evaluating priorities as well, but also taking care of yourself. Like if you said that you're coming home at a certain time, and you know you're gonna be cooking dinner, for instance, you need to prioritize that. Your goals and dreams, Taurus, can only work if things are settled within the heart. And you know, you're a very emotional sign. You're a sign that is very deeply emotional. You're Taurus. You're ruled by Venus. So really go with that. Okay, and this card is to do with like sort of like old-fashioned, and a lot of you are very much old-fashioned. So focusing on the things that really sing, focusing on things that, you know, really prioritizing things and not frivolous things, because during this time, the next 3.5 years, a lot of things can really come to you very quickly, Taurus, and you guys really may be sport for choice. But really pick the things, and like what this homecoming card is saying, just prioritize the best, because it will be more long lasting. Okay. Hello, Gemini. So Gemini, I forgot to say, how can I forget? All the mutable signs will really feel this, especially Virgo, you know, Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius. So for you, Gemini, this is in your 10th house. And what a house it is for you. This is about your career, your social standing. This is about, in a way, goals, you know, your boss, father figures as well. You know, we had that Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in your 10th house. I saw a lot of Geminis, their careers were very much dissolved. But not to worry, because a lot of you Geminis, you always got like many fingers in many pies. So it's no problem. But during this Saturn in Pisces, you may see that the one that really sings to you, your mind, it may be dissolved, because something better is going to come up. And it can be it can swing both ways. Remember, you're mutable. So it could be, because the 10th house is to do with disgrace as well. So even if you're going back 30 years ago, especially if you're a young Gemini, like whether you're a teen or in your 20s or even your 30s, you may have done a job 30 years ago and now it may come to an end because you may want it to come to an end. Or some of you may have been doing something dodgy and it's now, you may have been basically pushed out. You know, because this, remember, like I said, the 10th house is to do with disgrace. So you have to be very mindful. So this is like a dissolvement of your career, a dissolvement of your social standing. But also it's going to be a brand new beginning as well. Okay, with Pisces being in your 10th, Gemini, and also with Saturn ruling your 8th house, this is about fears that can definitely come up. So some of you may start a new job, but you could be fearing the worst. You could be fearing, am I good enough? Like mentally, you could be thinking, am I good enough? Or, you know, if I'm not working hard enough, I might get sacked. And also some of you may be doing it for material gain. Like I feel that materialism could really be brought up now for a lot of you. It's like, I need to work to survive, like we all do. But, you know, because all the fixed signs are going to be the stars of the show as well, anything you do is going to be seen, not just you, Gemini, all of you. So I do feel that you just have to be very mindful. If you're doing it for the better good, good will come. If you're doing it for the better bad, bad will come. But if you are really good at your job and if you're really passionate, like mentally passionate, you can really fly. Because even if you're squared, you can still make it. It's just that you have to put the work in. Saturn being in your 10th is about not cutting corners as well. Some of you may be guided or want to cut corners. It's not that time. It's not that kind of party. Just be careful. Because Gemini, you can forget, you know, especially when you're very busy, because I have no doubt with this transit, you won't be busy. I have every, you know, positivity for you that you will be very busy. But remember, Saturn's about karma. It's a karmatic repercussions. And because it's in a karmatic sign, which is Pisces, it's just showing you that, you know, if you go to the other twin, the higher octave, you know, you can make loads and loads of gains. But if you go to the lower, you know, there can be things that can be taken away, whether it's initiated by you or initiated by someone else. So, yes. So this is a great time to actually be building up a company, you know, working for yourself again. This is a great time to be working through any fears that you have within your job. This is also a great time for a lot of you Geminis to, because some of you may even work with your partner, you know, because your resources can actually be built now, could be actually be rebuilt. And this is because your career is going to be so highlighted, and because there's going to be lots of things that are going to come up, so much powerful emotional stuff that can be coming up. This is great to be talking to someone, whether it's a friend or even doing some deep psychoanalyzing work with a therapist, or even, you know, you could even do it for yourself. Some of you may want to work in the spiritual business. You may want to rebuild or build a spiritual business. Or if you are doing something not spiritual, you may put spiritual inclinations or inclinations. Yeah, you may actually put spiritual leanings in whatever you're going to be building and creating, because this will give you a different your mindset. It can really change your mindset now, Geminis. And you know, even you being in touch with that other side of yourself, it can actually make you understand yourself, and it can actually make your business grow. Okay. And remember, this is a leaving of a cycle, and we're going to be beginning a new cycle. So choose really well, and also choose who you're surrounding yourself with well. And also don't forget with your finances as well. Okay, because some things will come in and a lot will have to come out. So you have to really definitely keep an eye on that too. So the card you got is Ritual, Invocation. So powerful stuff for you Geminis. So this Ritual card is about, and I talked about you doing some spiritual work to connect it to your career. This card is to do with linking like past lives till now. And because Saturn rules your eighth, the eighth is occult, it's astrology, it's also tarot, it's also a Scorpion house. So ritual invocation is showing you that you're going to really definitely have to protect your energy and protect your aura. I personally feel as well this card is really great that some of you do rituals before you go to work. Okay. And also with Saturn being in your 10th, because you can ask Taurus about this, because Taurus, they're still in it, but that it's coming, it's leaving. But 10th house, if you're working for someone, you can find that, promotions can be gained, but also your bosses are going to be asking you to do more work, and they may be nitpicking as well. Or they may be saying one thing and meaning the other. Or they may be, oh, you're going to get this and you don't actually get it. Remember, this is Piscean energy. So I feel, and also there may be people that could be jealous of you, Geminis, because you may be getting a lot, but deep down they don't know that some of you actually sort of resent getting too much, but maybe because your boss sees that you can do it all. So they may be giving you more, but also, there could be some jealousy along the way. So I feel if you're feeling that and picking up, which I doubt that you won't, it's really great to do some protective work with, essential oils or even some candle work as well. This card is about rituals preparing you for the world, but also for you to judge wisely as well. So doing any type of rituals will really help you for the next, 30 odd years. Because your career, whatever it's like whatever you're doing now, Gemini, is going to be carrying you for the next 30 years. So just be very careful about that too. Hello, Cancer, and welcome to Saturn in Pisces. Now, Cancer, I know you're one of the signs that is, very nostalgic. So I'm sure a lot of you will remember the last time when Saturn was in Pisces, 30 years ago. So what happened? What did you learn? How did you feel? What was going on? So we're coming to an end of that cycle now, and we're beginning a new one. But before obviously we begin, we're coming to your 9th house again. So, back in the day, some of you probably went to college, started high school, or, started primary school. So it was about higher learning. And, some of you may have learned a hell of a lot. Okay. It's not to say that you weren't sensitive, because you're a naturally sensitive sign. So you may have felt or had feelings for learning certain subjects. And some of it may not have been, or you didn't really feel at the time that it could have been very spiritual, like spiritual leanings. It mostly was just like learning languages or just, higher learning, especially if you're going college or high school. So yeah, that'll probably, I feel that was the main theme for a lot of you. But if you were a bit older, you could have traveled. Some of you really could have traveled like far distance places and learnt about different cultures, learnt a new language, learnt about different people. And you're going to that place again. But this time it's going to be very different, very different. We've got the nodes, which is in your 11th house and your 5th. And this is going to be bringing in new, friends, groups, organizations, but also, your love life will definitely improve. So, there could be that happening, like a new lover can come in, or you're going to be having fun in your existing relationship. And, Saturn rules your 7th house. So I feel that some of you will be learning a lot more on a deeper level about your relationship that you're in now. And it's probably personal, business, partnerships as well. I feel that you're going to, you could be more so like Scorpios who are more psychically in tuned with what's going on, and especially around the world. I feel that some of you may want to really get with someone that could help you, because 7th house is to do with contracts as well. So Picking up some of you Cancers. Yeah, I'm just really truly picking up some of you Cancers during this cycle, that you're going to be wrapping up a lot of shit, but also you're going to also be wrapping up and starting new projects that's connected to the good of mankind. And, you know, even going back to school and college, and if you didn't feel very confident in that you could be a judge, or you could be doing something within the law, or you didn't feel confident that you could have been a writer, you know, a romantic writer, I feel that you could actually start doing it now. Okay, really start doing it now. Really putting your head and your heart together, and you know, someone who's close to you in your relationship could be really helping you. Like, you know what, I can actually help you. I can draw up some contracts. I can, you know, put you in touch with a good lawyer or a barrister, or even you yourself might decide to study the law. This is a great time for a lot of you Cancers to really go into your spiritual practice. If you are not doing it now, I'm not saying you should, but I feel that it will be a great time for you to, if you have a feeling that you want to delve into it, this is a great time to do it, because we did have the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in your 8th, in your 9th. And this is a beginning for you to be, you know, getting in touch with that side that may have been neglected. So go for it, Cancer, and you're going to learn a lot. I feel a lot of you are definitely going to learn a lot about your relationships now. And, you know, some of you may decide to really go it alone. Like if you want to travel somewhere far away and your partner's not on it, you might go, I'll go by myself. I want to learn more about the world, you know. You may be feeling too much in your comfort zone at the moment. It might be really time to branch out, Cancers, especially if you didn't do it 30 years ago. I might be wrong, but I am seeing some Cancers may have been and also actually, I'm not even going to actually, yeah, I could see across the board that, you know, that generation was probably Pluto in Libra generation, the 70s, 80s kids. Probably being biased here, but, you know, if you didn't travel then, you may decide to travel now and really pick up that language, really learn new language. And if your partner's supportive, the better. And also really get that book out there. Okay, this is like a 3.5-year cycle, because the 9th house is to do with publishing, you know. And I feel that if you are going to travel now, Cancers, and if you are feeling like creatively inclined, the more you travel, the more inspiration that you'll get. So it's a brand new time to be starting it now. So the card that you have is the Watchtower of the West. And this card is called Autumn. Okay, it's an Autumn card. So what this card means for you, Cancer, is, where is it? Yes, Autumn card. So what this means is about you looking really deep within. Because again, I feel a lot of the water and earth signs are going to be gaining lots of responsibilities and a lot of opportunities as well. So this card is asking you to really look within. Autumn is about a change of season, and you're coming to a big change now. So it's about the old ways of how you viewed yourself like 30 years ago is now really being dissolved. And this card is about not letting like people influence you, or even like your sensitivity influence you. It's about doing the inner work. You're having time really for yourself, Cancer. So really go for it. Even if you're like in your 60s or 70s and you want to go to uni, go for it. Okay, 9th house is about endless possibilities. If you decide that you want to, you know, if you're a Cancer that really worries, you worry about your relationship, you worry about your money, you worry about your security, but you know that you need to like really relax and calm down, meditation can help. Reading about spiritual books, aligning yourself with people who can help you, that can align your mind, body and soul together. I feel this is very much going to be a spiritual time. And when Saturn goes into your 10th house, all you've learnt in your ninth, you can implement it to your 10th house. You can bring it out there to the masses. So really go for it, Cancer. You know, the world really is your oyster. You just have to step outside your comfort zone. Hello, Leo. How are you? So, Leos, this is in your 8th house. Okay, the last time it was in the 90s. And yes, Leos, you guys are very much young at heart. But when Saturn's in your 8th house, it's a time of going a bit slower, a bit within, a bit more emotion. This is a time of dealing with shared resources. You know, some of you could feel this time that it might be not as, you know, your money might not be as flowing as it should, because you guys could overspend. You know, your partner might be trying to, you know, really get your money on point, but there could be some overspending, so you have to like really butt heads together. But also, this is about rebirth, death, rebirth, transformation. So I feel you guys, this is the time of releasing anything that has held you back 30 years ago to transform yourself. If you found back in the day, Leos, that you've held on, or you've not been like at your most creative or at your best, you can really look into that now. And that could be with doing occult work, spiritual work, or psychotherapy work, because fears can really come up now, and your fears could be restricted in some way, and it might feel good for you because you don't really want to deal with it. You got a lot on, especially with Pluto going into your 7th house as well. This is really going to transform your relationships, so you could be really focusing on that. But with Saturn being here, and with Saturn ruling your 6th house, it's about structure. You're going to have to really structure and sort out the things that need to be sorted out. And even though it may take a while, I feel, are going to have to really go through the motions. The 8th house is to do with fears, and it could be fears to do with like death and the occult. So I feel that you're going to be working with that too. I feel that some of you could be reading lots of books about life and death, reading books about inheritances, reading books about fears, reading books about things that are not hidden and not seen, mysteries, a lot of mysteries as well. Leos, during this time, you might feel very much alone. You might feel that people are not really understanding you very well. You might feel that you got a lot placed on you. You might feel that there's a lot of, you might feel very restricted in some way. And even when you are alone, that's when these fears may even manifest even more. So because you're such a creative sign, you know, it's not to say that to distract you. I just feel just to help you emotionally. Reading and learning about your deepest fears and your deepest emotions will really transform you in a way that can actually help others. Okay, because 30 years ago, especially if you were kids or teenagers or young adults, you may have not really paid attention to it. You may have just plugged along, and now it's like, it's come back again. I have to face this. I have to really go there. And the fears can also even be something to do with any traumas that you might have kept hidden as well, whether it's mental, physical, sexual, all of these things, and they could really pour out now. And because some of you may be older, it's going to be a brilliant time to really work through it. Okay, so an emotional time for a lot of you Leos. But I do feel working and being honest with your partner is going to be is going to just like really balance you spiritually and mentally as well. And I feel that there could be a lot of secrets that can be flowing out, because remember, Pisces is a sign that it's not about boundaries. It's not about boundaries. Even though it is some restrictions, things really definitely will be poured out now. So the card that you have is a High Priestess, High Priest, and this card is to do with responsibility. So it actually feels quite heavy, this card, because especially when it says responsibility. But fear not, Leos. When things are placed on us in a higher sense, that's when we can actually flourish. So this card is basically just saying, I feel that what you're going to be doing during this Saturn being in your 8th, is that, you know, you're going to be more structured. You're going to be really taking care, because the 8th house is also to do with like taking care of the emotional health, the spiritual health, and the mental health. This card is showing you just to really face your responsibilities. And also it's about saying be careful what you wish for, because you could be wishing that your finances are better. You could be wishing for inheritance. You could be wishing for being a bit more sexual, like a sexual release. You could be just wishing for things, and some of these things could be quite dark, but they may come out, because the 8th house is Scorpio house. So just be careful what you wish for. And if you're feeling restricted in any way, if you're feeling that, you know, you're not being seen or not heard, because a lot of you might not really be seen too much, not being rude, but this can happen. It's because of that inner emotional work that needs to be done. So yeah, this card is like very much just one of your spiritual cards, to call on the masses, call on the gods. It could be a high priestess or a priest. It could also be you consulting tarot cards. It could you be talking to the universe, especially if you want things to be better, if you want things to be a bit more lighter, because things could actually come up and it could actually feel quite dark, especially Saturn ruling your 6th. The responsibilities could be really heavy duty. So again, speak to your partner, communicate with your partner, communicate your fears, because again, a lot of these can really come up, but also work with them, be honest and really work with them. So that's what this card is saying, but also take responsibilities for your actions. And I'm also picking up take responsibilities for your words as well, because the 8th house can feel a lot of you feeling quite like cutting things off, like sort of like cutting things off, just cutting things off without thinking, or saying something without thinking as well. So very much a deep emotional time for a lot of you Leos, but you will spring from it. Virgo. So Virgo, this is in your 7th house. Once again, you are mutable. This is opposing you. Another thing I wanted to say, guys, is look where Saturn is, because when Saturn goes into Pisces, it is going to be affecting the Saturn signs as well. So look where your Saturn sign is, how Saturn and Pisces will be benefiting it in any way, good or bad. So for you, Virgo, this is in your 7th house. Okay, Saturn also rules your 5th. So with it being in your relationship sector, to do with your relationships, business and personal, to do with contracts as well, and people coming out of the woodworks that could be benefiting you or hindering you in any shape or form. So Virgo, once again, I talked about if all the signs, look back what happened 30 years ago. How was your relationships? Did it flourish? Did it not? Did you go out with someone that appeared great and they weren't? Was you daydreaming about the perfect partner? You know, did you actually go out with the perfect partner? Look what happened and how things were then and how they are now. So you're going to be feeling this very intensely because it's opposing you. And I feel for a lot of you Virgos, some of you may, I feel actually that when it came to relationships, that there was a lot of, it was very up and down. So I'm having some nice tea as well. I have to have tea when I'm talking to Virgo for some reason. It may have been very up and down for some of you, because on that sense, what I just spoke about, being in a relationship, you know, some of you could have been out with like the most perfect person in your world, and then it came out that they weren't that great. Or some of you went out with someone that didn't appear great and they were. With Pisces ruling your 7th, Neptune as well, it could have been cause of deceit. So they may have deceived, you may have been deceived in some way, or you may have done that. And now you're coming to an end of that cycle. You're going to be beginning something new. I feel some of you may see the error of your ways. I feel some of you Virgos may have hurt people as well in the past. And that could have been because someone hurt you. So you may have been a player. You may have just jumped from this one to that one. And, you know, because there may have been someone that you went out with and they really, they broke your heart, but they may have also have really sung to your heart. You really felt them and it just didn't really work out. You know how these things are, Virgo. And, you may have just played the field a lot or just, try to find that perfect one. But now you're coming to this consensus of, you know what, I need to find someone that is really in tuned with me. With Saturn ruling your fifth as well, it's about having fun. And even if Saturn rules you, even with Saturn ruling your fifth, the fun may not be like that crazy fun. It may be like the serious fun. And I feel some of you may actually, there may be now, especially the conjunctions in your seventh, I feel that some of you may actually get that commitment you're seeking, that sort of mental commitment that you guys are really seeking. But also you still have to be mindful because there may be, a holding back what's going on. I feel maybe you may be holding back or they may be holding back. You Virgos may also feel very, very psychic as well. Okay. I feel a lot of Virgos have the psychic ability, but they hide it very well. But you guys may be very psychic when it comes to like dealing with your relationships. Seventh house also to do with creativity. So get your creative juices flowing, Virgos. If your relationships are just very up and down, up in the air, what do you like to create? Remember, this is a Libra house. So creativity, I feel, would be key. And refining your creativity if you've not done it. You've got the fifth house, which Saturn is ruled by. So I feel that some of you, if your relationships are just, again, taking a bit of a mad turn, getting your creative juices flowing, really beneficial to you. It can actually help you have a bit more fun. Because I feel a lot of you are deep down are seeking some fun, but you just haven't found the perfect person or the perfect, the perfect friend, should I say. But once again, I feel there could be commitments, or some of you could just decide just to keep dating, just to find that, again, perfect person or perfect thing, perfect being. Saturn rules restrictions as well. I think I've just said that before. So I think when restriction comes, it's because you need to see beneath the veil, especially if you find that one, Virgo. I'm not saying it's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I feel it may be a bit up and down. I feel that you may be dissolving certain things of high expectations of what you need in a relationship. But it's going to be eye-opening. Very much eye-opening. I feel that when you do find that one, I feel there's going to be a deeper commitment of marriage. And it could be of kids as well. I feel kids could play a big part in what's going on too. So the card you got is Cauldron, Containment. And this card is about information that could be not forthcoming or could be missing. And it's saying that someone could be hiding something. So you could be hiding something. And I feel it's to do with not being hurt. I'm feeling a lot of protection is coming up for a lot of you Virgos. You want to protect yourself. Protect your mind, body and soul. You don't want to get hurt. I mean, who does? So this card is also, it's like a warning card, but it's also a card of spiritual being. They're saying about not making the first move. You need to find the details. So if someone seems too good to be true, Virgos, there may be. So it's about getting to know them, not jumping into, the sack before. I think you guys know that anyway. This is calling also to about a bit harnessing your natural gifts. So what I spoke about, I feel that creativity will really help you do something creative, refining your creativity. And it's all about timing. This card is telling you about timing. So once again, Virgos, really tap into like the creative spirit that you've kept hidden. And because, some of you guys are artists, you may even start drawing someone and they actually appear, or even you writing what your ideal partner could be, or what your ideal, if you want a family, what that could be. It could actually come true. You and Pisces are going to be really feeling this so greatly that, you may not know what hits you. And it's not going to be in a bad way. It's just going to be in a very up and down way. But no, Virgos, you're really going to learn a hell of a lot as well. Hello, Libra. How are you? So, Libra, you know what, Libra, I feel that, you know, because this is in your 6th house, okay, and Saturn rules your 4th house. So I was going to say that you and Pisces tend to get on very well, your energies. It's a 6th and an 8th house thing. Like Pisces can be very obsessed with Librans, and Libras can serve Pisces, if you understand what I mean. So with this being in your house of daily routines, you know, pets, your job, but also your health, this is going to be coming to full fruition. You know, Libra, look back what happened 30 years ago. Did you take your work life seriously? Did you take your studying seriously? Did you take your job seriously? Did you take your health seriously? You know, really be honest and look at that. And even if it came to like a relationship as well, were you serving your partner? Were you over serving them? Were you not willing to let go? Were you trying to work on something that didn't actually work, but you still held on to try and fix the person or that thing? Okay, so these are the questions I'll ask. I think I'll probably ask for all the signs anyway. So yes, I find that, you know, so 30 years ago, all of these elements came into play, and also now we're coming full cycle, 30 years again. 30 years ago, yeah, we're coming full cycle from 93, 94 till now. And again, a realization is happening for a lot of you. It's when it happened 30 years ago, Libra, it's not to say on that day you should have done it, because it depended on how old you were. But I feel during that time, from the 90s, the noughties until now, some of you may have got more structured. Some of you may have gotten more on it, you know, really being diligent with your job. And, you know, some of you may have joined the gym, really started to take care of yourself, you know, which is a great thing. Okay, let's just be honest, it's actually a great thing. But now, when it is now, we have, you know, this real ending happening, and it's really time for you to look at it and be honest and be serious and taking care of your inner being. I feel some of you may really, because Saturn rules your 4th, which is to do with like the family and the home and the roots and the past. And I feel it might very well be, and also because the nodes are in your 8th and 2nd house, it very much will be a very sort of like spiritual awakening. I feel that things definitely will come back to the past for a lot of you Librans. I feel that there may be people coming back from the past, whether you initiate it or not. There could be things like to do with like the body that can come up, like ailments that could come up that you need to really look at and work with in a different way. It may be you need to be healing like past issues in a spiritual way, and that is spiritual way, i.e. as in doing, it could be hypnotism, it could be meditation, it could be yoga, it could be stretching. I feel a lot of you may be taking this time a little bit more slower. If you guys, any of you guys are single, you know, you could be initiating someone from the past or seeing someone from your past. Or if you are in a relationship, it's like you're going to be restructuring things in a different way. It's like you're not going to be how you used to be. It's like doing things very, in a probably more of a spiritual, futuristic type of way that you never even thought about. You know, some of you may decide you want to leave where you're working, especially if it pays good money, and work for others by healing others, because you have realized that you can heal yourself by the power of your mind. So you want to heal others, you want to help others. And why not? You're a great listener, Libra. You know, I find, out of all the air signs, you are the greatest listeners, the natural counselors. So that might be an avenue for you. You might decide to be a counselor. You might decide that you want to work with the poor, work with the sick, you know, but know that you have to put the work in. There's no cutting corners. Some of you, especially if you are laid back Libras, none of that can really happen. But I feel it might be a little bit easier for you as well, because like I said again, Pisces and Libra is very good energies together. I know a lot of these relationships obviously it does depend on what else is going on in their charts. So yeah, looking at things differently, eating differently. Some of you may be guided to cook how your mum used to cook in the past because it was healthier. Again, some of you may decide you want to take up a new workout regime that is of swimming. You know, you want to be more kinder to yourself as well. And yeah, you just want something a little bit more slower moving. And I feel this will really help you. So the card you got is a chalice fulfillment. Okay. And Libra, if your body or your mind is saying, you know, take things slow, really listen to it, because it can really be telling you something as well. So chalice fulfillment is basically for you about you in search of something, but also it's about being open, because Pisces rule in your 6th house, and it's actually a Virgo house. I feel that some of the things you're going to be doing is more likely to stick or stay. So if you're working for and helping people, it most likely to stay. But also if you are, if you are doing something to do with like organic medicines, or do things that are very going to be healing in any way, or thinking about it, just be open to it, because it can really heal. And this card is saying about really follow your intuition and don't quit. From the past, like till now, something could have been missing from your life, and I feel that you're going to be feeling it. It could be something, it also could be someone. So this card is saying you're going to be much more fulfilled than you were before. And there could, like I said before, there can be some unexpected people from the past coming up, and that's what this card is about, unexpected visitors coming. And also it's about drinking lots of water, which rules, you know, there's the 6th house is to do with your health. So you're gonna, some of you maybe want to up your game in being extra healthier, and, you know, really checking with your emotions, because your emotion, you can actually feel more emotional now, Libra, more so than ever. And I do feel it is because of the nodes, which is, you know, we've got the North node, which is in your 8th, and the South node, which is in your 2nd. And this is going to be showing like a side that you've buried that needs to actually come out. So it's, again, no time like the present. Get it out there and really work with it, because when Saturn moves into your 7th, this is going to be about your relationship. It's going to be a brand new cycle about your relationships that, you know, if you didn't work with, you're going to have to work with it. So I feel you're going to have to be putting the work in now in order for when it transits the 7th. Scorpio, how are you? You're going to enjoy this. I have a feeling you're going to enjoy this. It's like this cycle's come full circle for you. So yeah, the last time Saturn was in your 5th was, again, 30 years ago. And some of you may have had a lot of fun. Some of you may have really, had a lot of fun. You know, some of you may have gone out with someone that was a Pisces, and it could have been really intense, because when you get together with a Pisces, Scorpio, it's like out of this world. It's like you can't break this couple up. Doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, woman or man, or woman and woman, man and man. You cannot break this couple up. There's something deep and intense about this relationship. You can see through each other. And whenever Scorpions see Pisces, it's like, I need more. I want more. What is this person? This person's very mysterious, and you may have found this transit very mysterious. 5th house is to do with fun, creativity, children. So if some of you were teenagers then, you may have met the love of your life. And, you know, if you're still with them, congratulations to you. If you are not with them, you may be seeking them out again, or you may be searching for the love of your life again. Okay, I will say that. So a time of doing that, you know, Scorpio, is a time of really, you know, being creative, having fun. If you're in a relationship now, you know, you may find fun, even though you want to have more fun, it may be restricted in some way, that you have to sort of like take your fun a bit more seriously. I know that sounds tricky, because Saturn rules your 3rd. And, you know, your mind, you know, even though you may want things, your mind may be a bit of cautious, like, you know, just slow down before you do this. Let's do this first. Or maybe a bit of like a heavy cautiousness, or, you know, you may be thinking about things and maybe thinking the worst. Even how you communicate, Scorpio. You have to be very mindful of how you communicate, because it can come across as quite harsh. So if someone wants to have, you know, a little boogie, a little fun, you might be thinking, why do you want that? It's not going to work. Why you want to create that? It's not good. You know the gist, Scorpio. So be mindful that you're not hindering your fun in some way, even though it can be a bit restricted as well. But still, it's a great time for being creative. It's a great time for doing some creative art. Great time for, yeah, you could say gambling, like, because the fifth house has to do with gambling, but, you know what you're gambling on in terms of what you're going to be investing in terms of money. But it has to be something long lasting. But, you know, you're a psychic sign, second to Pisces. So you will know, like, okay, I was going to do this, but now I'm going to do this instead. If you have children, you may be a little bit harsh with your children now. You may be, how you speak to them, maybe a bit harsh. You may be expecting more. It's like you want the best for them, but you might be expecting way too much, and it can actually hinder them in some way. So again, you know, but saying that, Scorpio, it's like, it feels like whatever you want, you can more or less get. You know, you've got the nodes, which is in your sign. And even me doing this video, we have this solar eclipse coming up in your sign. And even when Saturn's in Pisces, the nodes are going to still be there, alive and kicking. So you're going to be coming out your shell a bit more. And also, funny enough, when it does happen, because I feel that with the nodes being in your sign during, you and Taurus, but during when this Saturn transits your fifth, your mind is going to be really, it's going to expand. And I've said before, you know, I feel that there are thoughts that are going to go back to the past. Like, it could be from the past 30 years. But a sort of like eureka realization, ka-ching moment of, oh, that's what this was all about. This is what I'm driven to do. This is what I have to do. This is where my destiny lies. And again, all the signs are going to be feeling some restrictions in some way, and you may even feel it when this happens as well. But you can still make headway. And you can also find, Scorpio, during you making headway, it can be very much long lasting for you. And, you know, I feel that a lot of you are going to feel really powerful as well. And, you know, some of you may not take yourselves not so serious in other aspects of your life as well. It's like you're having permission to have fun. You're having permission to, you know, if you've got children as well, you're having permission to hang out with them and, you know, have fun with them and, you know, do all sorts of, like, say, if you know, you could even be more childlike yourself and introduce your children to some of, like, the games you used to play, like, especially sports games and, you know, even with your partner. So there is going to be a transformation for you. So the card you have is a Pentacle, respect card. And this card is just saying about having respect for yourself, but also having respect for others. And it's also a very powerful card. And it's showing, this card is also saying, really stand firm in what you're about. Showing, like, throwing like caution to the wind. And that's what this is going to be for you as well. And also this card, because it's a pentacle card, some of you may be guided to wear like a pentacle, like a protective pentacle, because the fifth house is a house that you're going to be seen. And some people may be a little bit jealous, you know, because this is a different side of Scorpio that they're seeing. So you guys maybe want to work with that. But it's also, you know, the pentacle card is also, yes, it's about respecting others and yourself, but also respecting, like, your talents, respecting, like, your skills. Don't think that it's not going to work, because it will work. because everyone has to put like the work in during this time, and you more so, you and Taurus more so than others as well. So yes, that's for you. Sagittarius, so we enter mutable again. So Saggy, this is in your 4th house, and once again you're gonna feel this. You know, you and Pisces get on well. What I've seen and what I know as well is that you and Pisces get on very well, because you know you're both ruled by Jupiter. And even though Saturn will be in your 4th, Saturn also rules your 2nd house of like money and income. So you could find that they could be, remember this is squaring you, you could find there could be some, you know, I feel like some of you may move. Yeah, you may up and move sticks. If you've been, especially if you've been living somewhere for the past 30 years, you've been holding on to any type of images and trauma for the past 30 years, you are ready, really ready to release yourself from it. With the home, it is about, you know, your roots and your past and things to do with like your mother. So Saggies, this is great for you to be easing out and clearing any energy that you have that you want to talk about as well. And some of you may actually, there may be like family coming back from the past. It could be like cousins, it could be like family you didn't even know that you had. This also I feel could be secrets coming up. So there may be secrets that could be revealed from all 30 years ago. You know, I'm actually seeing like candlelight, not candlelight, I'm actually seeing like a fire and family are around and they're just talking, or you're just really listening. And some of the conversations could be about how you were when you were young. So it's like cleared karma, like you may have felt away, and because things are revealed to you, it's like you just feel like a sense of like release, weight off your shoulders, because you know some of these things may have been pent up or built up within you. With the 4th house, I see that some of you may invest in your home much more so than ever. It might be that time to really invest, make it more cozy, might be decorating the home as well, spending more money within your home. Remember, this is for the long term. There can be some drama. There can be some, I want it to look like this. And, you know, your partner, your people in your family may say, oh, it should look like this. You know, you really want to be heard. This is an emotional time for you as well, Saggies. I can see a lot of Saggies just getting very sentimental, very emotional, wanting to travel, but you know that you have like responsibilities within the home. And also, especially if any of you guys have been renting for the past 30 years, you may decide to buy. If you've been buying, some of you may decide to rent. It really can change within a whim. So yeah, lots of changes within your home front. There can be some changes within your finances as well, but I do feel most of it will be you settling down, setting roots. If you are going to move, you could want to move somewhere near the sea. You may be definitely investing in some type of property. It also could be a old, you know, it could be like a family home. Some of you and your family could just get together, get money together and just like buy that family home so that you guys can just chill. You know, getting away from like all that hustle and bustle. You know, 'cause remember, you know, your mind as well, Sagittarius, can go back all the way, all the way. Some things you might have remember when you were young. But I do feel there's going to be a deep emotional cleansing coming for a lot of you. So the card you have is Ostara, and it's incubation. Remember, Saggy, these are spiritual cards, okay? So the Ostara card, incubation, for you, Saggy, it's really a powerful one. It's about wishes coming true. So you may be wishing a lot. You may be wishing to move somewhere. You may be wishing that you want more of a peaceful life. Maybe wishing that certain things are going away. Like, I don't want to think about this anymore. This card is about underlying, because even if you see this card, it's like someone is huddled up, like head down. They don't want to be seen. And that might be, some of you may be feeling a lot of that inside as well. But it is also about completion, starting new things, starting like a new project. Definitely starting things within your home, whether it's moving, whether it's decorating. But also this could actually be like a dream. It could also be you realizing a dream, like a dream project. Some of you might be also, even if you have the funds, you might decide that you want to go into real estate and, building homes, mashing them down, rebuilding. So it could be like a new dream. But it's going to be, this card is talking about excitement. It's also talking about new dreams, new beginnings are coming for you. So anything that comes into your mind, Sagittarius, don't brush it off. It's something that you actually need to do. And spiritually and emotionally, your heart could be really singing like, let's just do this. So again, a lot of you mutables, like especially you Saggies as well, you're going to be really feeling this intensely and emotionally. And another thing I will say is, if there is anything that needs to be sorted out within your family, I feel that now will be the time. Even if there's shouting, drama or stress or strife, I feel that now will be the time to really clear that air. So when Saturn goes into Aries, you'll just feel a bit more lighter and more brand new. Hello Capricorn, so how are you? So you're ruled by Saturn, so every time Saturn goes into its sign, you're going to be feeling a lot of different emotions, even more so. This is in your third house, and Capricorns, you have the transit of Jupiter Neptune also in your third house, so you may be going through that whole emotional motions. But when Saturn's there, I feel that some of you could find, because again, you're traditionally ruled by Saturn. So you may be trying to put restrictions on what's going on within your mind and in how you communicate. I feel some of you Sagittarians, the themes I'm picking up is like talking more, talking less, dreaming more, but not wanting to dream too much, wanting to start projects, blogging, writing, working in journalism, teaching as well, but still a little bit afraid that you're not good enough, a little bit afraid that people might making fun of you, being more closer to your siblings as well. If you haven't been, be more open and be more honest, but also and being honest in how you feel about certain situations as well. The third house is also about where you live, like your neighbors as well. So some of you, if you are close to neighbors, you may find that you're not as close anymore because you got a lot on, like mentally, you got a lot more emotionally as well. But also, let's not forget Capricorns, that with Pisces ruling your third, it brings psychic ability. Okay, it does bring psychic ability. It brings, like, because you're very much a serious sign. And sometimes when we're too serious, we forget to feel. We forget to feel what's going on within. We also, sometimes we see things and we pretend that we didn't. But I feel now you're really going to be opening your eyes to it. You're really going to see it. And you may call things out as well. Things like in any type of like injustice. And I think so you should. There's going to be a different side to you, Capricorns, especially with the conjunction in your third house. This is bringing you lots of blessings when it comes to creativity, lots of blessings when it comes to you wanting to change your career. And you definitely will take it seriously. whenever Saturn goes into a sign, yes, it does affect you, but it depends on which sign it goes into. So with it being in Pisces, it may be a bit of a walk in the park for you, because it's like, okay, I'm feeling this anyway, so I might as well just, go for it. So anything you're going to be starting, know that you have to put like the emotional work in, that you have to, emotions will have to come out in whatever you're doing, I'll say. So it's actually a good cycle for you for the next 3.5 years. And I do feel, if any of you Capricorns do feel any insecurity, insecurity can come up. Just go for it anyway. The third house is to do with the mental health. So I feel that some of you may really need to take it really seriously as well, because there could be some things that, in a way, there could be some things that you're seeing and you don't want to see, or there's something that you're not seeing and you actually do see. So having that downtime, having that alone time, meditation, I feel will help. A lot of breath work, because some of the images. Remember, our third house is about what you're seeing. Images can come up that could disturb you in some way. It's only because you didn't want to see it. So I do feel like things like breath work and meditation, and it's not like Uranus is there. Can you imagine? You got the nodes, which is also helping you as well. So if you're doing anything creative, the Piscean imagination will really help you. It will be it, and it could also stand the test of time. So the card that you have is Spirit Initiation. So there's a lot of this is a good one for you, Capricorns. I'm not gonna lie, it's really a good one, because it's showing that a lot of things, you might be initiating a lot of things and making a deep commitment. And again, like I said, don't worry about what anyone else is thinking, because you Capricorns may be at the forefront, of like the most amazing creativity to come through for the next 3.5 years. So this card is about saying, listen to spirit, listen to your heart. It's really staying true to yourself. And it's also, the other messages is like you're being called to initiate into some type of craft, some type of skill. So really go for it, and yeah, dare to dream, Capricorns, really dare to dream, because you never know what you can create, okay? But again, like all the other earth signs and the water signs, you're going to be really benefiting from this. So dare to dream. Hello, Aquarius. So Aquarius, Saturn leaving your sign is making a lot of you feel a sense of relief. You started a brand new 30-year cycle, and I'm sure a lot of you are so happy. This is in your second house, and this is with money, resources, your self-worth, creativity, food that you're eating. And Saturn rules your 12th house. You're traditionally ruled by Saturn. So a lot of you may have felt very uncomfortable. Your air sign, so you like your mind to travel. You like to meet up with friends, join organizations, protests, do humanitarianism work, and some of that may have felt very restricted, even on like a global sense, may have felt very restricted. And, it may have made a lot of you feel quite lonely as well. But now it's like a sense of relief. Like, okay. And looking back, Aquarius, when it, because it dipped and flowed. It ebbed and flowed when it was in your sign from like 93. Saturn was in your sign, then it went into Pisces. Then after then in 93 again, I think it was June 93, it went back into your sign. After then it left completely in 94. So, you guys are, definitely wrapping up a cycle that may have felt that in terms of like your money and finances, you may have invested in things, changed banks. Some of you may have worked as a bank teller, or, you know, doing things, you know, looking at money, looking at how much you're earning, things to do with like your self-worth. And now you're having this cycle, again, this ending of a cycle. So, you know, I feel some of you, remember, we got Pluto, which is going in your sign. So you are transforming in a very powerful way. You know, it's going to be for 20 years. And a lot of you Aquarians are not going to be the same again, and nor should you. With Pluto going into your sign, it's big transformation, like how groups, organizations, and other things are going to be looked at on a deeper level. So with Saturn being in your second, and also with the nodes squaring you as well, yes, there's going to be some frustrations. You may feel that you know, this is a time where you want to earn a certain amount of money, but, you know, you can't be greedy. If any of you are greedy, I don't know any Aquarians that are, but, you know, you may want to, you know, put money in like, may want to invest in something creative. You may want to help the homeless. You may want to help people that are well, like have less than yourself. With Saturn ruling your 12th as well, this is to do with losses as well. So some of you may have, or even feeling that you're losing certain aspects of yourself. Like you may feel that, you know, you may feel that you're not worthy of things. You're not worthy of certain treats, designer clothes, but it's different now. You're looking at this different. Whenever it comes to the second house, it depends. It's never an easy house for some, because this is a Taurus house, and you got Uranus in Taurus as well, which is in your fourth. So I will say, take your time with what's going on now. Know that, you know, if it's materialism, that's now going to be phased out. But I feel that this transit will really work for you if you're doing something that helps mankind, that helps the greater good, that helps the less. If you are a business owner, a CEO, you know, you can grow, your money can grow if you are doing something to help others instead of helping yourself. And even if it's like an organization that doesn't look like a success, if you do the inner work, you will see that it's going to be of great investments. With this ruling, the second house is about food as well. Some of you may not, well, it depends. Some of you may be eating more, but also Saturn's about restrictions. So some of you may be looking at what you're eating and restricting it. This is the time to experiment in the kitchen, Aquarius. Really experiment, really have fun. And also with creativity, looking at something that you can create. Yes, it's about money as well. So whatever you're going to be visualizing or creating, it can bring in a second stream of income. But it's about, it can benefit others. It's going to be, you know, having like you know, some of you could actually decide you want to teach. And it's like, I'll help you to be like, I don't know, like a painter or a writer. And, you know, it will really benefit you, I'll say, during this time. So some of you may not actually mind this, which is actually a great thing. So the card you've got is Air, Imagination. Great card for you, Sagittarius. It's, you know, your imagination, I feel that it actually could fly very high. And it's funny because the Air card has got like a witch, and it's surrounded by all this cloud of smoke. So this is basically, this is about the mind. This is about ear. This is about communication. This card is also saying about meditation, starting a new project, writing, painting, drawing. It's about getting outside, going for long walks. It's about connecting to people, connect to things and people that you've never connected to before. Really keep your eyes open to things that people may need your help in any shape or form. Even if it's like a little investment in something, whether it's to do the homeless or anything that needs help for others that are less of, I feel you'll find this transit pretty good. Okay. And last, but by no means least, and the star of the show, are you guys ready? Yes, here it is. It's Pisces. Hello, Pisces. What a time it will be for you. Okay? This has been a long road, a long winding road for you, sun, moon, and risings. Pisces, from 93 to 90, 93, 94, all the way to 96, you have been through the mile. I feel that some of you have seen a lot, heard a lot, and lived a lot. You've come through it, Pisces. You are here. You can now speak your truth. Some of it may be imaginary, some of it may be lies, but some of it may be the truth. It's a mixed bag. You know, you're mutable. I feel what can help you, because this is in your third house, your first house. Saturn rules your 11th. So a lot has happened for you, Pisces, in terms of what has been going on in your life for the past 30 years, even when Saturn was in your 12th. You've come full circle. Like I said, you've really come full circle. And with it now being in your first house, some of you actually could, basically breathe a huge sigh of relief, like you've actually made it. If you've done like that inner work that when Saturn was in your 12th, which is actually your house, I feel that things will actually fly for you. I feel that you won't feel that you have to put on like a pretense. You can feel some restrictions because, you know, the first house, it does rule the physical body. It rules the physical self. It rules the out, like the sun, you know, it's like the outer self. So there may be more of a serious Pisceans coming afloat for a lot of us. We may be seeing a different side to like your Piscean self or your Piscean friend, or, you know, anyone like, you know, who's a Pisces. It could be showing like a different side. Saturn's also about karma. So I don't know if I've said it before, but you know, Pisces and Gemini, they're the most controversial out of all the mutable signs. For reasons unknown, you know, because Pisces, they're magicians. So, and also they're ruled by Neptune as well. So they're very, and Jupiter. So sometimes what you see is not what you get. So there has, you know, even if you're being honest, Pisces, looking back from the past 30 years till now, you know, I feel that if you've done that sort of work where you've tried to be the best person that you can, now you're going to be seeing that things will sort of like bear fruit. But if you've purposely been bad-minded anyway, if you've purposely done all the craziness, the you know, the other side of the fish, then, you know, this can also be seen as well. Okay, so that's something to really think about. But I feel that if you've, because we're all human, you know, when everyone lies, no one is perfect. No, you know, everyone tries to do the good. And one of the things about Pisces is it's a very compassionate sign. It's very much about caring and working for others. And you know, some of you, you know, during this transit, next 3.5 years, you know, you could see where, you know, where your future lies, you know, where your goals are, you know, where you should be physically, you know, where you should be emotionally, because Saturn rules your 11th as well. So that's about your goals and your dreams, but also about friends. Another thing I want to ask Pisceans is, how has it been in terms of like your friendships? Okay, especially since Neptune has been in your sign. Have your friendships flourished in any way? Have they dissolved? You know, some of you may feel that, you know, you're not really, how you're projecting is not like the real you. Some of you may want to have stayed in your shell, but you really want to be out there. But some of you may have been out there, you actually want to stay in your shell. It might have been very much a conflicting time. And there is a time when these two, when Saturn in Pisces and Neptune, they're actually going to be coming together in 2025. So it's very much a powerful time. And with the nodes being in your third and your ninth houses, like your mind, especially if Uranus being there, you know, some of you could feel quite anxious because you may want to get lots of projects started. You know, your mind may be very like, you know, very ambitious. Some of you may want to, you know, if I'll say, if you have started doing anything creative, especially when during Saturn was in your 12th house, if you've tried to do it, even if it's a little bit, I feel it's going to be seen. If you haven't done anything, Saturn's going to be on your ass. It could more or less be kicking your ass. Let's just be honest. Like, okay, you've wasted time. Let's do this. Okay. I would not be surprised, and I've said this before, if we see a lot of Pisceans coming more out, because Neptune's in Pisces, and we've seen a lot of Pisceans coming out of the woodworks. Some good, some not so good. I'm just being honest, okay? Remember, you are guys the magicians. You sell a dream. With Saturn being there, that dream is going to be dissolved. You know, you guys may actually find yourself fully naked. I'm not talking literally, I'm talking being exposed. So if you have been fake in any way, that will be exposed. If you've been, especially if you've been fake in any way, you're selling a dream that's not actually real. If you've been doing something and it comes out, if you've copied someone, if you've been doing, you know, anything that is just not real, just will just be exposed, Pisces. So it's about rectifying the thing now, you know, trying to be as truthful as you can now, because you will be forgiven. I also feel a lot of you Pisceans are very much one of the most protected signs in the zodiac. A lot of Pisceans who are, not all, but some of them who are in the media now, whether it's singer, actor, or, you know, some of them have said really controversial things and they're still working, you know, but it's knowing that you're protected and working with it, and knowing you're being protected and taking the piss with it. So it's really entirely up to you, Pisces, because when it goes into your first, it's like, you know what, you had a lot of chances, but now you're going to have to really face the truth. I feel a lot of you are going to be facing the truth about a lot of things from when Saturn went into Aquarius, or from 30 years ago. A lot of truths are going to be faced. I feel that there can be I feel that some of you who are seeking like friends, or that sort of like group association, some of you may find your tribe. It could be very small though. I feel that some of you could also find that if you're in any crisis that happens in your life, there's certain people that you never even thought will be on your side. They'll come to your aid. You know, I can remember when Saturn was in Pisces 30 years ago. I was a teenager then. That is how old I am. And it was very life-changing. It's very life-changing. Don't be surprised also, Pisces, if people from your past come back from 30 years ago. If it didn't happen from 2020, I feel a lot of you will see it now. Or even themes. It could be from people from your school. It could be also exes. It could also be old projects. It could be many things. But I feel it's definitely from 30 years ago. These things are to be calmed out, rectified, eased out. Some things may stay, but a lot of it may go as well. You know, Saturn's about your physical body, like I said. So this is a time to really take care of yourself, because Saturn rules the bones, the hair, the teeth. You know, you are ruled by the feet. So it's the lymphatic system. So again, like I said before, dry brushing, really good for you. It will help, you know, with your lymphatic, everything moving. If you find, because sometimes when Saturn transits the house, the first house, I think it's the ascendant, but if it does transit the first house, it tends to, you know, you can find that your hair is not as luscious. So using like things like essential oils, I feel will really help you. Like rosemary, I was gonna say eucalyptus, but you can. But I personally use like rosemary, tea tree, lavender, and peppermint. Sometimes ylang ylang, really great for your hair. Remember, check with your practitioner. These are what I use. So, you know, do a test before you use it, disclaimer. But yes, and also essential oils in general will help you, because, you know, you got the nodes, which is in your 3rd and 9th, so which this can make you feel a little bit, I got to do everything. Know that a lot of opportunities will be presented to you as well, Pisces. I feel regardless, I feel especially if you have worked hard, or if you've put some of the work in, you know that your jobs will also change. Like, some of you may decide that you want to work in like the caring profession, like hospitals, shirums, even hostels or hospices, brothels as well. Remember, these are hidden things. But also you have to put the work in as well. Some of these things will come easily to a lot of you. A lot of you are going to be shining more as well. Again, Saturn's about karma. Don't take the piss with it, because it can come and bite you on the ass. But yes, I feel a lot of you will definitely be shining more. We're going to see a lot more of you Pisceans in the media. What the media will definitely be different. You know, Pisces is also to do with the like Hollywood, like, you know, films and TV. So there could be more of a beautifying. Some of you may be more luminous, you know, more confidence will come as well. But also, don't be afraid to have that time alone, Pisces. Don't be afraid to have that downtime, because you're going to be needing it. Not only are you going to be busy, but you guys are going to be, there can be a stress element as well, because you guys have to meet a lot of responsibilities in order to create and in order for you to meet obligations. So having that downtime will really help. So the card that you have, coming to your card, Pisces, I'm really sorry, is the Earth card. And this Earth card, my first thing is bringing you down to earth. Honestly, my first thing is, a lot of you guys will be down to, this is called Earth grounding. So this card message is about connecting more to Earth. It's going to be really required during this 3.5 year transit, or remembering to connect more to Earth, connect more to Mother Nature, spending time outside. It could be barefoot. You know, it's more or less like getting your hands dirty, doing gardening, hugging a tree. Any project that you're going to be pursuing now, or things that will come to you, will be guiding you to try to remain down to earth, because you can become very excited. You can be doing a lot more projects than you envision, which can actually cause a lot of confusion, because you may find you're starting one thing and you're not finishing it, because all these things are coming at once. Another thing I'll say for a lot of you Pisces is really careful what you wish for, because it can actually come true and it might not be what you envision. So this Earth grounding card is, you know, showing you, you know, make your wishes, write your wishes, do your setting your intentions and manifestations, but also be realistic, okay? Because I personally do feel that when Saturn was in Pisces 30 years ago, I was much more psychic. I saw things that I shouldn't have seen, but I just saw things that was like, whoa, and they actually happened. There's things that I actually wished for and they actually happened. So, you know, keeping our heads off the clouds and bringing it down to earth will be of great benefit to us. Some of you may be doing like spiritual work, like, yeah, it could be like spells. It could also be, you know, also I do feel another thing I'll say is doing like protection work, whether it's through candles, whether it's through essential oils. Really protect yourself, because for some reason Pisceans tend to get a lot, they can, but it does depend on what type of Piscean it is. But there can be some jealousy that can come during Saturn being in your house. You maybe think, I'm just doing my thing, and people just like, oh, why are they getting this? Why are they getting that? But I think that only happens, I think regardless, it happens when you're doing the work or not. But I feel that protecting yourself, like even asking for protection before you leave, saging as well. And yes, once again, Epsom salts. Some of you may also decide that, you know, another thing about your physical body is that it will really change. If you've been working out, especially during the 12th house, and nothing shifted, you may find it will shift. You'll be more comfortable with the body that you have. And a lot of you may be taking more care. Like if you're having any addictions to anything, I feel that it will be dissolved. It will take a while, you know, but I feel it will be dissolved. But I feel a lot of you maybe feel a bit more comfortable within your skin. So yeah, so if you're working out, some of you maybe, if you haven't, you may be starting to work out. And it will, I feel that a lot of you also may be doing it for a longer period of time. Instead of just, oh, because Saturn's here, it will be continuous. You'll be looking at yourself, feeling yourself very differently. So yeah, this is really great if you want to be really healthy. And yes, I think I said pedicures, getting your pedicures done, really take care of your feet, because your feet is of power. It's where all like the systems lie, so keeping them warm. But yeah, things actually feels that it will come into fruition. Yes, you may still feel that, you know, there's things that you need to revise and look at, but still, Pisces, remember, this is for the long haul. And the next 30 years when Saturn goes into your sign, it's like looking back on how far you've come and seeing how far you've progressed as well. Okay, so remember, Earth grounding card, you're being guided to try and remain grounded, especially if all your wishes and dreams come true. So guys, that was Saturn in Pisces. Thank you so much. It was a long video. It really needed to be. Like I said before, I have a Saturn in Pisces on my podcast. I will link it below. I've spoken about a lot of things on a general. This is like a general for the tarot for all of the signs. Remember, this video is going to be up for a very long time, so feel free to keep coming back and just having a little bit of a, you know, a little guided message. And once again, thank you so much for listening. If you listen through the whole thing, thank you. Feel free to let me know how this transit will be panning out for you, or even going for you. And also don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and check me out on my social media. So once again, guys, thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.